Hello everybody, this is Jessica with Stamp a Blessing. I'm super excited to share with you today what I am doing on my craft room in preparations for OnStage 2019 now in November. Next weekend, we are all demonstrators in the United States and abroad are going to be dividing in different places and going to enjoy a time of crafting together. And I'm gonna be there, so I'm super excited. But there's certain things that we do every time we go to an OnStage. So first today, I want to share with you the swaps that I'm creating. I'm creating 50 of them and I'm super excited. I was crafting this weekend with my team and I loved it, but I'm not done. I still have to finish them. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing with that. And then I created a very beautiful bag that I want to share with you as a part 2 of this video. At the end of this video, I want to bring a word to you about permission. I'm going to give you permission today. So wait till the end and we'll talk about that permission you're receiving for this beautiful holiday season. Okay, let's go stamp. I'm going to switch my camera around and we are going to start creating. So let me share with you, when you go to OnStage, usually there are hundreds of women, sometimes thousands of women, depending which you go to. This time I'm going to be joining here on the Northeast. I'm going to be going to the Connecticut one. And we divide it in different states, okay? And we get together for a time of inspiration and crafting and fellowship. And it's absolutely amazing. I have to tell you, it's so empowering and just so inspiring to meet with other people that speak your stamping language. You know, it is cool to just really talk stamp and talk classes and talk friendship and love. It is very, very inspiring. So I'm going to be going this weekend. But when you go, you don't go with your hands empty, okay? You always bring something to share because that's part of our community. What we do is sharing love through cards. And we usually bring a card that we can share with others, right? So in the past, I remember one of my first on stage, I only took 20 cards maybe, and I thought I made a bunch. And then I realized that people sometimes go with 200 swaps. I was like, what? I don't have time to make 200 cards, but I'm going to measure myself this year, and I decided that 50 is plenty and I don't need more, and that is actually a lot on my plate. But I met this weekend with part of my team and was able to work. And as you see, I already started cutting a bunch of these beautiful die cuts. Let me show them to you. This is in Puppy Parade. Right there. I cut 50 of them. Okay, so I had a lot of conversation what I did that with my Big Shot. And I cut some of our new, what's the name of this? I don't remember. Blah, 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 shimmer ribbon, the gold shimmer ribbon that came with the Christmas bundle, the Christmastime bundle. Okay, I cut them all how they go. I also cut all of my beautiful labels. And again, this is all from the same Christmas rose. I think it's called Roses Die. There you go. This label right here is the one that I cut. And it's fun, you know, sometimes you don't have to take swaps. You don't have to. Jennifer, I see that you don't take them, and that's totally fine. Some people do, some people don't. I am such a social butterfly. I like going and saying hello, and people usually say, so do you have a swap to share? And I'm like, okay. So we share and it's fun to do so. And I love seeing the creativity from other people. So next week, you know, I'm going to come back for the Facebook Live with a lot of different swaps and things to show you. Super excited. We're going to be able to also see the new catalog that is coming in January. So imagine we have a full month and a half to prepare for that catalog. Super exciting. So here I cut these labels and I think you see them well. And I stamped them in Puppy Parade with a Hello Beautiful. This is from the Butterflies die. Here it is. Awesome. Found it. So I'm using the Hello Beautiful from there in Puppy Parade. And yes, we can mix and match things. But mainly I am using the Christmas Rose and the part 1, part 2, and the Christmas bundle. Okay, that's the one that I decided to use. After this, I'll show you a beautiful bag. That's going to be my part 2. So you have to go to that video if you are on YouTube and watch it. But I want to show you the front of my card and kind of put it together so you see what I'm doing 50 times during the next hours and days before Friday when I go over there. So I brought my wonderful stamparatus. This is a perfect tool to use when you're making many cards. It is excellent because you can repeat. That is so fun. So I'm going to put this here, and I I already put all the parts on my stamparatus. So I put this wonderful image right here. I just stick it to it very easily. And then I put this part, which is my little berries that you see here. All the berries are going to be colored with Poppy Parade. And then we're going to switch this and do the leaves. So I want to show you the process because doing it with the stamparatus has been such a aha moment for me. It's been just really fun. I'm like, what in the world? How come I did all this before having a stamparatus and saying it right? So I'm just gonna come and ink with Old Olive my beautiful rose stamp here. This is the biggest image in this stamp set, and not many people got this one. I think, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe not. This piece of cardstock is 4 inches by 5 1/4, the Whisper White that I have in here. 4 inches by 5 1/4, okay? And there I stamped that. Let's say that there's one spot that did not stamp well. I can go ahead and ink this as well. It did not happen, but if that were to happen, you can come back and stamp again, and it's stamping exactly on the same spot, which I totally love, because at times you have areas that don't get inked enough. You can ink it again and put it back down, and I love that about the stamparatus. Now let me actually do the green first. So I'm gonna twist this to the other side, okay, and I'm going to be inking my leaves, and I already positioned all of my leaves. Oh look, I have a little piece of something in there. So when you put all the leaves together, that is the coolest thing about the stamparatus. You just ink once and you're going to stamp all the leaves together at the same time. So now I come here and you see how it all matches very, very nicely. And instead of stamping 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you're stamping 1 time, okay? And that is the coolest thing about this stamparatus. Da-da-da-da-da. There you go. Everything is pretty much colored in there. And now I'm going to switch my plate to the other side. I'm in love with this little machine. I never thought I really needed it until I got it. And now I'm like, okay, wait, I have to use my stamparatus. My friend Faith is always using her stamparatus. And she actually bought it from me before I bought it. And she inspired me. So thank you, Miss Faith. You're always using your stamparatus. So good. You inspire me. Now I'm using Poppy Parade on my little berries. And again, instead of stamping each berry individually, I just have them all in there prepared for the next time. So do you see how exact it goes right on top? I love that. Love that. I don't have to be even thinking much. They are ready for me to stamp. And when you're making 50 cards, this is the way to go. Okay. So this is my image. Again, 4 by 5 1/4. Now, what am I going to do here? There is another stamp that you can certainly just ink and go ahead and put it right in the center. And I did it at other occasions. I put this stamp right here. And for those who are new to stamping, these photopolymer stamp sets you can just peel from clear blocks, and then you position where you want them. And let's say that I was going to put this here. I just position it exactly where I wanted. Wait, I'm not in the right position. Like I made this line. You see, I make myself little cheat sheets right there. I made a pencil line so I know where my cardstock goes exactly. Then you put your magnets. Then this, let me turn it the other way so you see how it's just done, just for the matter of teaching you how this goes. You put it down and you pick up the stamp. You see, I picked it up there. So now every time I put my cardstock right in that spot, my photopolymer is there. I just ink it and I go down and I color it. But in this case, I decided to do something a little different. So I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to keep doing more of these. Actually, I did all of mine in this case. I'm going to share with you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move my stamparatus away. And I want to share with you what I already did here. Look at this. Ha-ha! I already made a bunch of them. So this was just yesterday. Okay, it was with my friend Kathy from my team, and we were just stamping, cutting, okay? And it's an amazing way using the stamparatus. So I love it. Anyhow, I cut those at 4 by 5 1/4. Then I went ahead, and these are card fronts, okay? Let me explain. When we do swaps, you could do a full card, a normal card you would do at any point, right? Or you could do card fronts, and in this case it's going to be a card front, just the front of a card. That's what we share for ideas, so that demonstrators who are actively doing classes have something to show with different stamp sets that maybe they don't have. So they give me a card with a sample of a stamp set that I don't have, and I give them one of mine, and then they can show their customers what they're doing. Some people do it for those purposes, others because it's just fun and they like to share them. So I'll be sharing them later. And then you can also use them. So here I cut 50 pieces, and these are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is usually the size of an A2 card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so that's what I did. And I have this here, but I did something else, and I want to show you. Remember that stamp set that I shared with you, this one right here? Well, I went ahead and I stamped it 50 times. There you go. I stamped that 50 times. And I really like the flower by itself. I really like it. It goes very nice also with the image. Let me show you a sample. I have one right here. You see, you can also stamp on it. This one was embossed. I did it a few weeks ago, and it was embossed, and then I stamped on top with the purple posy. That's the color, and mint macaroon leaves, you know, and then I used the purple posy for my berries as well. That was just uses that stamparatus on top of a heat embossed image. But in this case, I really like how this looks. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for the sample. Okay, here you go. There's another sample. You see, instead of doing it with the lined image that I stamped first today, this one is without it. So it's the same image, but without the lines, okay? And I really, really like this look. So I decided to do these for my swaps, and I'll show you what I started doing. Hello, I'm not done. I told you I'm in the process. So I started cutting them. I just went ahead and started cutting. All of them. And yes, I'm cutting 50 of these, but if you watch my videos often, you know that I am not afraid of fussy cutting. I love fussy cutting, and I use my Big Shot when needed, and there's some things that I don't like to fussy cut. But flowers like this, I can fussy cut at any point. So I'm going to take one of them. I really like the dimension that they bring when you stamp them just by themselves. I think they kind of lose that dimension when you actually put the lines in there to divide, because then it looks like it's colored. And it looks a little bit like watercoloring. Very, very beautiful. But I also like the option of not doing it that way. So for this card, I decided to take a bit of a dimensional, and I'm just going to put a dimensional in the center, okay? And we are going to finish this card together, because this is going to go right there. Look how pretty that looks. Now, let me put this away, because we're not going to be making all of those at the same time. But this is going to be my background, okay, for the front of my card. Jennifer said she's terrible at fussy cutting. And that's okay. That is why Big Shots exists, so that you can use die cutting and not necessarily fussy cutting with your scissors. So let me bring the other parts of this card so we can put them together. And you see just another example of how you can make a card 50 times. Have mercy, Lord. I am doing like if I die cut 50 of this. If I die cut, I die cut. If I stamp 50 of this. If I cut 50 of this. And right now, you just saw me stamping the last, that was number 50 of these ones, right? I still have to cut some more flowers, but I think we can handle this, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here. Okay, and this one, let me put this straight so you can see better. But this one, instead of going straight, I'm gonna go a little bit twisted like this, just to give it an interesting feeling to the card. So I'm just gonna go like that. Okay, Tisha says she tries. I know some people hate it. For me, it's relaxing, depending if I'm not in a rush. So I already stamped them all, and I've been cutting. Every time I have 5 minutes, I say I'm gonna cut 5, and I put 5 and then 5 more, and it's working well. Okay, then I'm going to bring this little, how do you call these? It's a trellis or something like that. There's a name, but this is so cute. It's such a nice die. Really like it. There's this one, and then a thinner one, like a border. And then we have these pretty ones that I showed last week. Let me see if I have it here. Oh dear, I made so many. But if you watched my previous video, you saw it. I think it's this one. Yes, I use it right there. And on this one, I use that one right there with gold gold foil. I love that gold foil. And you're going to see my bag in a little bit that I'm going to be making part 2. You're going to love it. So here I go. I have that part. So what I'm going to do first is, you know what? I'm going to use a piece of this because I'm low on my nail adhesive. So I'm just going to take a little piece of this and I'm going to put it right here. Okay, this is my tear and tape, and I'm going to take this off from here. There you go. And I'm going to be positioning this right here at the bottom of my card. So it's going to be held right there, okay? Ta-ta-ta. Then I'm going to put this little piece right here. And you know, I should maybe use another piece of that or a glue dot, but where did I put my glue dots? I think I'll just use that because it's simpler and I'm in camera. I don't want to keep you forever. Plus, I have a part 2 that I want to do today, and hopefully my dear Facebook cooperates with me really nice. So here we go. Oh, Philomena, don't worry about it. So glad you are here today. Thank you for joining us. So here I'm putting this little piece of gold right there, and then I'm gonna bring some of my pretty dimensionals right here, and I'm gonna position this right there. So it's sort of like a little bit sideways. Yeah, I did it right. Last but not least, I want to share just one of these beautiful gold enamel dots, okay, that also came with this beautiful bundle. And I'm gonna put it there. Okay, so this is pretty much my card, you know, my card front. This is the one that I did before, and you see it kind of just brings that dimension out. I really love the Poppy Parade berries, and it's not it has several steps. It's not necessarily super simple. I like in a sample to make something that when you are in a class, a person can make, even a beginner could make this card. And I also like to show a little sample of everything. In this case, this is a bundle that you can use for more than Christmas. So instead of just saying Merry Christmas or using the sentiments that came with it, I decided to use one from another stamp set, and people can get creative and just use whatever they have. Okay, so Hello Beautiful is the one I decided to use because you can use this rose for any other occasion, now or through the year, you know, through the years. So then I have a little bit of ribbon, a little bit of the gold enamel dot, and that kind of shows, okay, this is what the bundle brings. So anybody that is going to swap with me in Connecticut, you may be getting one of these cards, and I hope you like them. So if you like them, give me some thumbs up because I really like this card. Super excited to share it with you. Now, I do have another project, but I'm going to do a second edit and I will show it to you in part 2. So if you are watching part 1, I invite you to go watch part 2 on my YouTube channel. I will have it together with this one. I'll put a little link so you can go to it right away. Okay, thank you so much for watching.